Marriage better enables men to exploit women's unpaid labor. Quote.
The way men and the patriarchy and the church and so many organizations have been able to benefit from the colonization of women's time, energy, and resources has been studied. And the way they utilize women's unpaid labor to help men get ahead, you can see it very clearly in marriage. So that's what she's talking about here. Marriage better enables men to exploit women's unpaid labor. And so women work outside of the home. But when women get home, women, if you're married, are typically the ones that are doing the majority of the housework. And we see this in our day-to-day conversations that we're having. This is a sticking point for many relationships, with women begging, pleading, cajoling men to do more labor in the home, participate more in the household. But for way too long, men have been able to opt out. They'll say things like, I'll cut the grass, I'll get the oil changed, I'll clean the gutters, and that will be enough. But day to day, women have to do the parenting, the appointments, all of the inside things, the cooking, the grocery shopping, the admin of the home. Women are doing that. And so men, married men, even boyfriends, are able to capitalize off of women's unpaid, underappreciated, unappreciated labor. I follow birth rate trends like men follow their favorite sports teams. But I just did this article out of Newsweek just this past week, and it's titled Real Reason Behind Birth Rate Decline. There was a part in here that really stuck out to me. Gender inequality, the wage gap, the inequality within the home and caring for the home, the chores, the babies, and all of that. That's something that gets talked about quite consistently. But this piece, like I said, out of Newsweek stuck out to me. Down here, this quote right here: no country has become economically advanced without a substantial participation from women in the economy. This part: the burden of caregiving, whether for children or elderly family members, falls disproportionately on women, and policies must enable women to balance work and caregiving effectively. It's never men need to participate in caregiving more. They're just like, we just got to figure out how to help women balance this more, because women do the substantial amount. The women shoulder the lion's share of caretaking, housework, all of that. And they know this. This is something that I've talked about before, as you can see right here. And this is in 2016 dollars, but it's still valid. Married men do typically make more money because married men are typically perceived to be more stable, more responsible. They think that they should earn more money because supposedly they are using that money to take care of families. Married women do not get that same bump because it is perceived that women are going to be the main caretakers. So women get dinged, women get a penalty typically for being married or because they fall out of the workforce for a time, but married men actually get a bump. And there are a few reasons for this, regardless if the wife works outside of the home or not. The wife is typically the one that is doing the majority of the caretaking, hence the reason why I keep using the term wife appliance. Because if you are a married man and you have someone in your home that's taking care of the grocery shopping, the cooking, managing your doctor's appointments, and all of these things, it makes your life so much easier, so you can simply just focus on going to work and doing that. Like, your brain is free. This is another reason why I say that these people have more time to go out and cheat, because they have a woman in the household that's doing all of the foundational things, the invisible labor that makes a household run. And the married men bonus is the same reason why there is a fatherhood bonus and there is a motherhood penalty. Women get dinged for having kids because we've already said before that women are the general caretakers, the ones that's going to take care of the household. If a kid gets sick, if a parent, an elderly family member gets sick, women are the ones that are taking care of the doctor's appointments during the day, because we know that doctor's appointments are scheduled smack dab in the middle of people's work days. So women are the ones that have to call off of work or fall out of the workforce for a time period. Married men are not expected to drop out to actually caretake for their children or elderly family members. Yes, I do understand that there are exceptions to the rules, but generally speaking, the lion's share goes to the woman. Men may not want to admit it, but their health and well-being is improved when they're typically married. Whereas the flip side is true for single women. Typically, their health improves in relation to married women, because a lot of the times when a man is married to a woman, he has attached to her and is sucking her life force. And that's one of the reasons why when a woman divorces or breaks up, she has this glow up, because that parasite that was on her gets pulled off. Because if a woman is doing the majority of the things within the home and a man gets to just skirt without doing the housework, without doing anything with their kids, and the woman has to shoulder all of this, that's stressful, and she is wearing that stress. And so he gets to suck her life force, and then she becomes a shell of herself. Now, why am I talking about all of this? I'm talking about this as a married woman because I do know and understand that people will get married and want to be in relationships. But there needs to be some balance. There needs to be some balance where women are not the resource. We are not the resource. We are humans. And we have to talk to our daughters about not allowing some dusty dude to come tap into their resources. And our daughters are pouring into themselves first and foremost, and not pouring into some dusty dude when she goes off to college, not going over to his apartment or pairing up and staying together to where there is a division of labor inequality, and she's doing all of this so he has all of the free time to go move up in college or move up in his career, and her career gets stunted. So we need to have these conversations now. I want us to have these conversations because many of the autoimmune diseases that women get is from stress and overwork and not getting enough rest. And I want women to take a little bit more charge of our health, because if we keep pouring into other people, we're not pouring into ourselves. So, if you keep letting someone attach to you and continue to run you into the ground to the point where you're not getting any sleep, you're not able to work out, you're not able to just take a deep breath because you're so stressed out, that impacts your health, and it impacts your finances. It impacts your emotional well-being and all of that. And I want to see us do much better. And I don't want to see men continue to win simply because they are tapping into women as a resource. I have said before, men are colonizers. They will see a woman and, they will say things about women being gold diggers, but they are the true gold diggers because they know that we have a jackpot of all sorts of treasures. Do not allow them to plumage your treasures. All right, y'all. Join the conversation. Let me know what you think about all of this. I'm going to attach her video right now. Let me know what you think about all of this. Her video made me think about so many of the different things that we talk about in our network. And it's just kind of brings it all together. So let me know what you think.
Quote, marriage substantially increases male labor supply. Counterfactual simulations suggest that if men were unable to marry, prime-age male work hours would fall by 7%. This is from a paper from the Federal Reserve Bank of Dallas, published in 2023. When declines in heterosexual marriage help close the gender wage gap, it becomes pretty apparent how men work more hours. Of course, that's only talking about paid hours. Is really just marriage better enables men to exploit women's unpaid labor. Quote, full-time work is particularly affected by unpaid care and housework obligations. Men and women's overall housework and care burden lowers their labor market participation and working hours. A more equal care and housework distribution boosts gender equality in employment. This is from a 2022 paper, Care and Careers, Gender Inequality in Unpaid Care, Housework, and Employment. Another one from 2020, Gender Wage Gap and the Involvement of Partners in Household Work. Women's non-market work, that is household labor, increases their partner's earnings while decreasing their own earnings. This suggests the importance of reducing women's involvement in domestic work. work. These data offer us important context in understanding cultural dynamics that stigmatize and shame single women and treat single men as objects of unconditional empathy. Because the benefits of women being pushed into heterosexual relationships, where they're saddled with the majority of this unpaid household and childcare labor, extend well beyond any individual man a woman may be partnered with. It's this unpaid and underpaid labor of women that enables the overwhelmingly male-dominated economic and political power structures to remain in place all around the world.